All right, today we're going to talk about ratios, and we're going to get the proportions and geometric mean. But the ratios are just comparing two numbers. So we have, in this case, 4 to 12. This is the two ways you can write it. You can write it as a fraction, or you can put this little colon in there. Now what we would do is, we would have, for instance, a square that's 4 by 4, and then we would have a bigger square that's 12 by 12. And then we would say the ratio between the small square and the large square is 4 to 12. And then this is a number that we can actually reduce. So we're going to simplify these on these ratios, get it down to its lowest term. 4 over 12 can also be written as 1/3. All right, so that's a ratio. The next thing we're going to talk about is a proportion. All right, so proportions are basically just setting two ratios equal to each other. All right, so sometimes they want to know, just are two things the same? So is 4/3 equal to 8 over 6? Okay, basically we're looking for, are those two ratios the same? They might not have this equal sign in here, but we want to know, are they the same? So we reduce this 8 over 6, and it gives me smaller numbers, but 4 over 3, so those are the same thing. So what we're going to do is proportions. So we're going to use an actual example, and then we're going to start plugging in some x's and things like this. You guys should have seen this before in 8th grade and before, so you guys should be fine. What's nice about proportions is we can do certain things with them. If we find the cross property 3 times 8 equals 24, and in the same instance, 4 times 6 equals 24. That happens. If those two are the same, then we can say that they are similar ratios. So 4/3 is the same as 8 over 6 because when we do the cross multiplication, I don't like that word, but we'll talk about that. 4 times 6 is the same as 3 times 8. So we're going to do the same kind of thing with some of these. But now we're going to have a variable in there. So I'm going to give you 10 over k equals 8 over 4. So we're looking for a number k that will make it true. The way that we do this is we're going to cross multiply these two. 10 times 4. All right, 10 times 4 equals, and if it's going to be a similar ratio, those two are going to be the same, then it has to equal 8 times k. And now we're just solving for k. So in this case, we're going to divide by 8. And this is 40 divided by 8, so k equals 5. Now they get more complicated than that. You guys will do a lot in class. But let me see if I can find one where it's a little more complicated for you guys, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so this one is the same thing. We have a proportion. We're comparing two ratios, setting them equal to each other. But it's a little more complicated. We're going to multiply these two together. This is 3 times, in parentheses, x plus 1, equals 2 times, in the parentheses, x plus 5. And then here we're going to distribute. So we get 3x plus 3 equals 2x plus 10. And then we're going to minus 2x on both sides, minus 3 on both sides. This gives me x equals 7. All right, and then you can kind of plug it in, see if that's true. So this side gives me 3 over 12. This side gives me 2 over 8. They are both equal to 1/4. So that is okay, and that means we did find the correct value of x. All right, that's all we're going to talk about today.